Today we're going to have a special feature here about Parshas Korach and Mistayef, and a new look of the insight of the Machlokes, what happened with different kind of ramifications as to the entire story. Parshas Korach discusses the Machlokes in Korach vaadaso. Korach and 250 people from Bnei Israel, together with Dosan, Aviram, and Oim ben Peles from Shevet Reuven, they come to challenge Moshe's ma'amad as a manig of Klal Yisrael and Aaron's position as a Kohen Gadol. As we find in the pasuk, they say, "Ki kol ha'eda kulum kedoshim u'beseichem Hashem u'madua tisnasu al kehal Hashem." Moshe offers Adas Korach to make a test, a probe, that would be a raya and evident who HaKadosh Baruch Hu elected to be the manig of Klal Yisrael. And throughout the test, to make a long story short, Korach and the 250 Nesim and Aaron, all of them will hold machtes, and in the machtes there will be keteres. Okay, Kadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe and Aaron to keep far because he wants to be mashmid gans Klal Yisrael. Moshe is asking for Rachmanis. Kadosh Baruch Hu was masking to be mevater on the oinish and gans Klal Yisrael. And there Moshe goes to the oihel, to the holim of Korach, Dosan, Aviram, and he says as follows: if you're going to die natural death, so this is a raya that Moshe was boide, invented this whole story milibli. But im the Adamo tiftach espio and tivlo isom, so that would be a raya that Moshe emes and the vaadaso emes. The test happened. The mishpocha and the entire rechush was swallowed together in the earth, and the 250 maktir ketores was nisrefu boish. What was really the time of Korach in Chazal? There are 4 different midrashim. We'll just focus on the one, the Medrash Tanchume in Omfang Korach. It says, "Alman nechle Korach al yedei litzofon ben Uziel achi oviv shenasen nosi al mishpachtei shenema venosi libnei beis ov lemishpachas hakeosi el litzofon ben Uziel." Korach said as follows: my father, there were 4 siblings in my father. The Kehos has 4 children: Amram, Yitzhor, Chevron, and Uziel. He says Amram was the Bechoyer, fine. He was grandfather's Kehos Bechoyer, so Aaron was Zoiche to Kehuna, and Moshe was Zoiche to Malchus. Who is to get the next job in line? Myself, because the second son of Kehos after Amram is Yitzhor. And I'm a son of Yitzhar, so therefore I should be a Nasi Libnei Kehos. There's a position of a Melech, position of a Kohen Gadol, and a Nasi HaShevet. So I should be. And Vehu Moshe Rabbeinu also Uziel Cotton. Uziel was the youngest of the children of Kehos, and he made my cousin Kehos, son Uziel, the son of Uziel, Elitzofan, the son of Uziel, which is my first cousin because he's a brother to my father, Yitzhar. Therefore, so he is the one who thinks he should be next in line. His masking Moshe should be. This is one medrash. His masking Moshe should be a melech. His masking Aaron should be a Kohen Gadol, but he should be a Nasi and not his cousin Elitzofan ben Uziel. As I state the medrash. After Korach is nivla in the Adam, but not only him and mishpachto, everybody understood he has to get an einish. But b'mosayim v'chamishim nesiyeh or eidah from Adas Korach was nisrefu b'eish. Klal Yisrael comes with the time. It says in the pasuk, "Vayiloinu kol Adas b'nei Yisrael mimocharos al Moshe ve'Aaron lemer Atem Hamitem es Hashem." You killed Hashem. Who is Hashem? Hashem, they refer to the Mosayim Chamishim Nesi. I'd like to read a Ramban tonight I would like to learn with everyone Vosi der emes pshat in der Ramban of this Parshas Korach. Zog the Ramban as follows: V'hanochein be'einai. What does it mean? Atem Hamitem es Hashem. Shehoyu ha'om ma'aminim ato bekehuna sare. Be'emes Klal Yisrael were present and they saw this whole presentation. They were ma'aminim kehuna sare. Shekvar yotzo eish milifnei Hashem v'toichal es korbaneso. They saw Kadosh Baruch Hu sends the eish min gavoya min hashamayim and eats the korbanos of Aaron. Apparently, if Aaron wasn't accepted, if the position as a Kohen Gadol was not justified, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't have accepted his korbanos. Aval hoyu chafeitzim sheyiyu habechoros mishosei hamishkan b'mekom halevim. As remembered and as known, the bechoros used to work, and we'll discuss it in length very soon. Actually, the people who served before Hakamas HaMishkan at any episode that needed some kind of a kahuna, there wasn't yet kahuna, but the avodah was bibecheres. Hoyu chafeitzim, the Am who is saying Atem Hamitem Esam Hashem, shiyu habecheres meshor se'hamishkan b'mkom haLevim, v'leirotzu bechalifin she'osu b'hem. They did not want this chlipin that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has done in Chet HaEgel, and he took away the job from the Bechoros and gave it to the Levim. Ki hoyu chafeitzim shehiyeh lekol hashvotim chelek ba'avodas beis Hashem. They wanted that it should be equal rights. Kol zman the avodah was b'Bechoros, the Bechoros of every shevet, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, every shevet got the Bechoros. Whoever was a Bechor was qualified to work. Because Baruch Hu made a swap and said all the Bechoros are out and the Levim are instead of them. At that moment, the Avodas HaMishkan was designated and secluded only to Shevet Levi Bilvad. And they said, the Am says, we're not interested in that chlipin. This chlipin that Kadosh Baruch Hu made to take away the Bechoros, V'inei Sloinenu, says the Ramban, Atem Hamitem oisom. Why Atem Hamitem? Why is there a taina Moshe v'Aaron shenosatem o eitz hazois sheyaktiru k'toyres kekohanim? You told them to be maktir k'toyres for kohanim. V'hem o yuroyim la'avodas haLevim v'lo shiyu kekohanim makriv k'toyres. You came with a bad eitz because the test that you made, you said you should be maktir k'toyres. Maktir k'toyres is avodas kahuna, is not avodas leviyah. So you made a test whereby you gave a job to be maktir k'toyres kekohanim, and therefore they were punished. So by you misleading and giving such a eitzah that the test should be done via avodah of kohanim and not perhaps to make it a test as avodas haLevim, you caused the death. V'lo shiyu kekohanim makrivei k'toyres. V'zeh tam porach mate Aaron Lebeis Levi. At kan divrei Ramban, I would like to explain today in length emes la'amita shel Torah pshat in the Ramban and understand what is going on here in the machlekes of Korach vaadaso with Moshe and Aaron. I'd like to go back to Parshas Tetzaveh and Parshas Kisisa. Rashi in Parshas Kisisa on the pasuk Vayiten el Moshe kechaloso ledaber itoi. Steht in Rashi ein mukdam u'meucher b'Torah. There is no mukdam u'meucher b'Torah. Ma'aseh ha'egel was koidem litzivui meleches hamishkan yomim rabbi. She'arei b'yudzayin b'Tammuz nishtabru al luchos u'b'yom ha'kipurim nisratza HaKadosh Baruch Hu leYisrael u'lemocharas yischilu b'nidvas hamishkan ve'hukom be'echad b'nisim. I'll explain pshat in Rashi. Klal Yisrael goes out of Mitzrayim. Matan Torah happens in the first Shavuos, the 50th day after the Pesach that came out of Mitzrayim. 40 days later is the Ma'aseh of Chet HaEgel. Chet HaEgel is Nishtabru Aluchos. And then Moshe Rabbeinu has 40 days Emtzoyim until Rosh Chodesh Elul, and then the 40 days Achreinim until Yom Kippur when Kadosh Baruch Hu is Mitzratz. Says Rashi that the story of Chet HaEgel, which took place in Shivasa B'Tammuz in Shana Rishona in Yitzias Meretz Mitzrayim, was before the Inyan of the Mishkan, Yomim Rabim. Why? Because only 80 days thereafter, or 83 days thereafter, in Yom Kippurim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is misratze to Moshe. He says, Salachti kidvarecho, ulemocharas Yom Kippurim, the next morning thereafter, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is metzaveh them to be nidvas HaMishkan, v'hukam be'echod b'Nisan, took the entire winter to build the Mishkan till Echod b'Nisan, almost a year since they came out of Mitzrayim in the previous year in Pesach, a year minus 2 weeks, but the entire tzivui on the Mishkan commenced and began only after Yom Kippur, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Salech and Chet HaEgel. So it says, Vayiten al Moshe kechalei l'daber itoi, says Rashi is ein mukdel muchal l'Torah. Why? Because if we look at the parsha, yes, with Parshas Truma and Parshas Tetzaveh discussing the Mishkan, the Kelev, and the Bigdei Kahuna, this is Parshas Truma and Tetzaveh, and all of a sudden Parshas the Kisisa, we have Vayiten al Moshe kechalei l'daber itoi. What Shaychas, the Chura, Truma, and Tetzaveh were post the Egel, almost 3 months after the Egel, 2.5 months after the Egel. So what do we have? Parshas Truma, Parshas Tetzaveh first, and thereafter Vayiten l'Moshe kechalei l'daber itoi, and talking about the whole story of Chet HaEgel and Shviras HaLuchos, which occurred and appeared and be'emes took place a couple of months prior to the tzivui of Binyan HaMishkan v'Kelev. So Rashi, the Alte Klal, and Mukdom u'me'uchor b'Torah, there is no Mukdom u'me'uchor b'Torah, and be'emes Parshas Kisisa took place, at least the story of the Shviras HaLuchos and Chet HaEgel took place prior to the tzivui of Parshas Truma Tetzaveh, which only were really commended to Moshe Rabbeinu in Machas Yom Kippur, and once HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Michoel and Chet HaEgel. This is Shitas Rashi. By the way, it's not only Rashi in Chumash, it's Rashi in Shir Hashirim on the Posuk, Tzroir Hamoir Doidi Li Ben Shada Yoli in Shir Hashirim. Rashi says, and I quote, Doidi Nasa Li Kimoi Sheyesh Le Tzroir Hamoir Bechelki is a beautiful perfume. V'omar הרי לך צרור זה שירח טוב מן הריש אשר עבדת. כך הקדוש ברוך הוא נשרץ לישראל על מעשה העגל, ומוצא להם כפורה על אבינו, והומר יסנדפו למשכן, ויבוא זהב המשכן ויכפר על זהב העגל. Says Rashi again, that the whole tzivui of Parshas Truma and Tetzaveh and Binyan HaMishkan v'Kelov was only the first time said after the Ritzui and the Zahav HaMishkan is mechaper on the Zahav HaEgel, which took place, the Shiva Sober Tammuz, prior to that, Yom Kippur, which was Nimchal Dechet. This is Shitas Rashi. The Ramban in a few places, but more so at the beginning of Parshas Vayakel, says the Ramban, Vayakel Moshe Kol Adas Bnei Yisrael, Yitochen shehoyo zeh beyoyim mocharas ridetoi, ve'omar lekulam iyen HaMishkan. This Vayakel Moshe is taking place in Mocharas Yom Kippurim, where Moshe Rabbeinu came down with Luchei Shnius. Ve'omar lekulyan inyan hamishkan asher nitztava boi mitchila koidem shvoir haluchis. He is now telling them, remember I was mitzaveh you before the shviras haluchis, the parsha of Mishkan? Let me say it over once again. Ki kivan shenisratz alohem HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'nosan lo haluchis hashnius, וקורס אימוי בריס חדושו, שילך השם בקרבון, הנה חוזרו לקדמוסום ולהבוס כלולויסום. In other words, there was a parsha of Truma and Tetzaveh which was given to Klal Yisrael by Matan Torah, gleich whenever HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Matan Torah, that was the parsha of Truma and Tetzaveh. They came to Chet HaEgel. Not only did they lose the luchis, but within the Chet HaEgel, says the Ramban, Kodesh Baruch Hu says, you know what? If this is how you behave, you're going to be Ovid Avodah Zorah, I'm taking away the Parsha of Mishkan from you. No more Mishkan, no more Bais LaHashem, and it's out. It's being put into hibernation in the back burner, in the freezer, and don't know if that is going to come again. Says the Ramban, when Moshe Rabbeinu went up for Luchis Shnis, he came down, and Kodesh Baruch Hu says, Alachti kidvorecho, הנה חוזרו לקדמוסון ולאבס כולויסו בידוע שתהיה שכינוסו בתוכם כעניין שציוו מתחילה. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, we had a tzivui by Matan Torah about Binyan HaMishkan. And Parshas Truma Tetzaveh Kisisa Vayakel goes Lefi Seder. You don't have to come out there Mukdam Muchal Torah. Truma Tetzaveh was given in Matan Torah together with all the other mitzvahs. and there was a tzivui HaMishkan. But by the Chet HaEgel, they lost it. And when they lost it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes and says, go ahead for Luchas Shnias, Psol Lechosh, and Luchas Avim Chedeshem, V'kasavti Al Luchas Advorim, Asher Oyu Al Luchas Arikem, Asher Ribato, and Moshe goes up, Salachti Kidvarecho, Yinei Chozru Lekadmusom, V'la'avas Kulosom. There is a rejuvenation, a reconstitution of the very first tzivui of Mishkan V'Kelev. Ad Kan, Loshen HaRamban. Comes out according to Ramban, there was a tzivui, Taka Mishkan V'Kelev, and that was together with Matan Torah. There was a loss of this tzivui on the Mishkan. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, no more Mishkan. For people, even of the Zohar, there is no zchus to build a bayis to Hashem. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is nisratza on the Chet HaEgel. There was a second tzivui of the Ramban, Tzivo Nochamo Asher Nitztavo Inyan HaMishkan Mitchila Koydem Shvur HaLuchis. When the HaKadosh Baruch Hu was misratze, he says, now say it over to them again, and now go ahead to the Alta Tzivui Parshas Truma Tetzaveh and build the Mishkan. So everybody agrees that the Mishkan, there was a tzivui on the Mishkan, the Mochras Yom HaKippurim. That's no machlekes Rashi the Ramban. The question is, according to Rashi, this was tzivui initiated the very first time after Yom HaKippurim, and Parshas Truma Tetzaveh was really after Parshas Kisisa. There was a Chet HaEgel, and there was never a tzivui b'Chet HaEgel, and then there was Luchas Shnias, and after Kadosh Baruch Hu was misratze, then he decided to be mitzvah to build the Beis Hamikdash, to build the Mishkan, the Pa'am HaRishayna. According to Ramban, there was a Truma Tetzaveh beforehand. They lost it by the Egel, and with the Mechila and Chet HaEgel, they got back the schus of building the Mishkan again. Now, everybody knows the Medrash in Chazal appears in 6 different Midrashim, but I would just read the Medrash Rabbah Afanot, Kaches Salavim, Omer Rabbi Seinu, Loma Tziva HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lifdois B'chor Yisrael Belevim, שבתחילה היו הבכורות משמשים עד שלא עובד שבט לוי, עד שלא הוקם המשכן עבודה בבכורות, ועבודה בבכורות, הבומוס מותורס, ומשהוקם המשכן נאסרו הבומוס ועבודה בכהן. There's a Mishnah in Perek Poras Chatas in Zvochim, עד שלא הוקם המשכן, before הקומס המשכן, הבומוס were muter, and the avodah was done b'bechores. We know the Rambam says in Pirush HaMishnah in Perek Poras Chatas, Mimois Odom Arishin. The Rambam says anybody who was a b'chor was serving actually Mimois Odom Arishin. The Rambam calls Odom Arishin the b'chor. It's a sugya b'fnei atzmo. But throughout the entire first 2,200 years till Achkom HaShamishkan 2249 years, the avodah was b'b'chores. V'teidaloch, I'll bring you a raya, says the Medrash, she'oya b'chores machlifin at shele'om at shivta shelevi, v'kivan she'osu oisa ha'maiseh, when they were over Chet HaEgel, Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu yevoyu ha'b'chores, ve'omru yevoyu ha'b'chores ve'akrivu korbanos lefanov. They, when they made the Maiseh of the Egel, says Vayishlach es na'ar b'nei Yisrael, they were the one, the b'chores that were dealing for the Egel. וכסיב וישכים ממוחס ויעלו אילוס והקיבו שלומים ויאמר להם אומר להם האלוקים אני נשאתי פרוקפי לבחורס. Prokfi means I upgraded them, I made them, I gave them a shtel לבחורס. ועשיסו אייסן גדולים באילום וכופרו בי ועומדו והקריבו לפני העגל הרי אני מויצי את הבחורס ומכניס את בני לוי. So this Chazal is all over the place in different versions that the din, the Bechoros lost their avodah for 2,200 years. They lost it once they were makriv lifnei Egel. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, I upgraded you, I made you the servants of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not Kohanim. It wasn't Kohanim, it was Bechoros. If I am the one who appointed you, I am the one who made you into the servants of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you take it and serve in front of the Egel of the Zorah, I'm taking away from you, and I'm swapping you with the Levim. And the oynish of Chet HaEgel was the oynish on the Bechoros that they lost their tafkid as being Oved, Avodah, all the korbanos which were done by the Bechoros, and was given over to the Levim. Let me ask you a question. It's a kasha I heard many years ago from Aida Grace Talmid Chacham, and he asked the kasha as follows. If we're going to say like the Ramban, that the tzivui of Asiyas HaMishken was before the Shviras HaLuchis. So let me ask you a question. Parshas Truma, I understand. Amishka Mekela. But Parshas Tetzaveh, the whole Parshas Tetzaveh, is on big de kehuna le'arein u'lebanov. B'shas the tzivui and the Mishkan, according to the Ramban, that it took place right away with Matan Torah, there wasn't Chet HaEgel yet. So why in the world is HaKadosh Baruch Hu metzaveh the parsha of big de kehuna le'arein u'lebanov? We know that in Bama, steht the ganze Mishnah is Mefurash as the end of Zvachim, there is no big de kehuna b'Bama. The B'chayres U'Oived, there was no big de kehuna. The big de kehuna is only a din which was nischadesh once the kohanim were oived. So adinim bekehunoi. The Gemara learns ein bigdei malem and kehunosim malem bekohen is oived b'chus b'godim is not called a kohen. He has a din like zos. He has to have the big de kehuna. But the whole parsha of big de kehuna is something that is related, started as shaykh only to avodas hakohanim. So Bishlomo, if you learn like Rashi, that the Maise of the Tzivui HaMishkan was after Chet HaEgel, and during Chet HaEgel they lost it, as every state in Al Midrashim, they lost their Avodah, and right now it's already designated that the one who is going to be taken, actually taken away from the B'cheres and given to Shevet Levi. So I understand now the Shevet Levi is Mischalik, there's Avodas HaLevim, there's Avodas HaKohanim, and the Kohanim ain't bigdei malem kunos alem. That's why there's a tzivui on Parshas Kisit, Parshas Tetzaveh of big de kunol chavel tiferes la'aroin achichu leban. But according to the Rambam, the really Parshas Truma Tetzaveh was said on the Seder. It was given to Aaron Ubanov prior to Father the myself the Egel. So why in the world is HaKadosh Baruch Hu being metzaveh the parsha of big de kehuno to Aaron Ubanov, whereby, if not for Chet HaEgel, which occurred 40 days later, there would have been a din of Avodah B'cheres, and there would have never needed big de kehuna. The kasha is a very, very stark kasha. We spoke about it many times, and different suggestions were maybe Parshas Truma is Choluk. Truma was said before, and even according to the Ramban, Tetzaveh was said only later. But the Ramban in Parshas Shmini says very clear and deutlich. The Ramban is talking about the Korbanos of Shmini Simei Miluim, and the Ramban Beferish says that Aaron Ubanov were mitzvah beforehand. The first time around they were mitzvah, the whole parsha of Aaron Ubanov was before even the parsha of the Egel, and the kashi is Kama Vegam Nitzov. So the Mesa found in the Chazon Ish. There is a Chazon Ish has in Chelek Orachaim, there is Moyed Sidur Matan Torah Simen Kuf Chofei. And I'm not going to read the whole Chazon Ish, but I'm going to tell you what the Chazon Ish says. The Chazon Ish says as follows. The be'emes, this halacha of actually ukam hamishkan avodah b'bechayres, it's not one halacha. It's two halachas. There is avodas hakohanim, which is avodas hakorbanos. There is avodas haLevim, which is maso, mishkan, shira, and mishmeres haLevim. So when actually hukam hamishkan avodah b'bechayres, be'emes is the entire avodah of Shevet Levi, sai avodas hakohanim and sai avodas haLevim, was done by the bechayres. Says the Chazon Ish that the bechira of the bechayres as avodas hakorbanos was only given gleich milachatchila until shehukam hamishkan, and that's the halacha actually hukam hamishkan avodah b'chayres, irrespective of the Chet HaEgel, not Chet HaEgel. This matana which was given to the bechayres was given to the bechayres only. The chelik of avodas hakohanim of akrovas hakorbanos was given only until hukam hamishkan. Kol zman there is no mishkan yomakim bebama, and the bama is mutoris, and the one who is serving as kohanim, not kohanim, but bimkom hakohanim, is the bechayres. This was a temporary job which gleich lechatchila was nikba the ones the mishkan was hukam yechaytim nit chaytim. The expiration of their role as avodas hakohanim, the bechayres, is expiring in the very first day of Hakomas HaMishkan in Echod Ben Nisan of the Shana Hashniyah. The abchira of the bechayres as mishmeres haLevim was la'olam. Even after Hukam HaMishkan, says the Chazon Ish, l'doires was avodah of the Levim, of Shiur, of Meshaira, they sang Shiur Salavim, and of Maso. This was given to them forever, was an eternal bechira. But when they were Oved, Avodah Zorah by the Egel, they were nifsal in the Avodah b'Teiras Levim, or by the Avodah of Kohanim, which was given lechatchila l'shor, where they were not nifsal even after the Chat of the Egel. Says the Chazon Ish, even after the Chet Egel, this role of their temporary job of Kohanim continued. Because we know that from Chet Egel in Yud Zayin B'Tammuz Shana Rishayna 22:48 until Hukam HaMishkan, which is Aleph Nisan 22:49, there was some 10 months. When this 10 months, they never lost their position as Kohanim. And Be'emes, even after the Chotu Be'egel, the Kohanim were mamshich, the B'choros were mamshich to do the Akrobas HaKorbanos until Akrobas HaMishkan. You know, there's different rayas to this Yesoid of the Chazon Ish, and I don't want to elaborate here on the rayas. We just have one raya on the pasuk in Parshas Bamidbar. Ve'ani inei lokachti salavim mitoich bnei Yisrael tachas kol bechor. Says Rashi, I quote, "Lefi shehoisa avoda bebcheres ukshechotu beegel nifselu ve'alevim shelei ovda avoda zora nivru tachteim." Comes the Mizrahi. It says like this. The pasuk, what does it mean? Lokachti salavim mitoich tachas kol bechor. He says because the avoda was bebcheres. And she'ovda be'egel nifselu, and the Levim, we know Shevet Levi was not chayt in the egel, therefore they're the one who received the avodah instead of the becheres. For the Mizrahi, there is a sukkah sagmor in Zvachim Dafkuf Tezvav Bein Machlekes Rebbe and Rabbi Shiur ben Korach. Rebbe says the becheres was posku l'shamesh b'Sinai. When did they stop? In Sinai. Rabbi Shiur ben Korach says Shiur Korach Mishkan. Rashi that says the word ukshechotu be'egel nifselu, it's the leikaman. We know such a man de'omar. There is no man de'omar that says is nifselu mish'asa egel. Where is this man de'omar shenifselu mish'asa egel? It's one of the two. Either they were nifsel in Sinai. There's no other man de'omar. In other words, with poskul l'shamesh b'Sinai, or according to the other man de'omar was poskul l'shamesh at Shiur Korach Mishkan. So where does Rashi come along and says v'ani nosati ukshechotu be'egel nifselu? The Teretz is, what Rashi says, ukshechotu be'egel nifselu, Rashi is not talking about avodas hakorbanos. Because the avodas hakorbanos, this bechira was only a temporary bechina, it's not pokat till the Mishkan. But the bechira which was done as the avodah becheres b'teiras levim, that they lost b'shas the chet ha'egel. Practically, it wasn't translated till, because before Avodas HaMishkan, there was no Avodas HaLevim Bichlal. There was never had Din Shiur, and there's never Din Masa, never Din Shmiras HaMishkan before there's a Mishkan. But the Psul was Chal, V'ani Lokachti Salavim Tachas Kol B'choi B'nei Yisrael, is not talking about the Avodas HaKehuna. The Avodas HaKehuna was given in L'chatchilat Shiur Korach Mishkan, and that was never, ever passed at any given time. We're talking about Avodas HaLevim. And Avodas HaKehuna is Taka Machlekes Rebbe Rabbi Shiur ben Korach. Avodas HaLeviyah is a avodah which was given to them forever without any expiration date. Even after the Mishkan was Hukom, this avodas which are designated for Levim was given to the B'cheres for everlasting Atzev Kol HaDeres, and that they lost with Chet HaEgel. Kodesh Baruch Hu says, I gave you this eternal job, La'olam Vaya, to do the Avodas HaLevim, that I'm taking it away and I'm pointing the Levim instead of you. And Mele is no shaykhs in the Machlekes in the Gemara Zvachim. The Machlekes Rebbe Rabbi Shiur ben Korach is the Shaila is in the Din of Achal Leuka Mishkan Avodah B'cheres, when is Poskul L'shamesh B'teres Kohanim? Did it happen by Sinai? There's one where the Rebbe says it happened by Sinai already. The Din is Posak in Har Sinai, and Rabbi Shiur ben Korach, that's what we pass it. That the Mishnah goes, the Gemara says according to Rabbi Shiur ben Korach, actually Hukam Mishkan Avodah, this Din was given, and according to that man the Omar, even after Chet HaEgel, there was never not something which was given to them temporarily was not touched by Chet HaEgel, and they continued to serve until Shehukam HaMishkan. Let's go back to unsere Ramban in Parshas Korach. Unsere Ramban in Parshas Korach, as you remember, the Ramban says, V'lo yirtzu b'chilufim, he says, the fact that Aaron was nivcha b'teres hakohen, we don't think zachan. We don't care. We see that Kodesh Baruch Hu accepted his korbanos behechrech that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is zufrieden and happy with his servants, says Aaron Ubanov, that they are kohanim and they're going to do the avodas hakorbanos. Aval lo yirtzu bechilufim shenasu b'hem. What was the chilufim? The chilufim is, while they were over the egel, they gave over the avodas halavim, which was given lechatchila to the b'chayres lo'ilam vayed. They gave it over to Shevet Levi. That wasn't even the avodas zara. Says the Ramban, ואנוכם בעיני שהויו או מאמיני בכהונת הארץ שכבר יוצא איש מלפני השם ותוכל לזכור בנסוף. אבל יהיו חפצים שיהיו הבכורות משורשי המשכן במקום הלווים. They wanted that instead of the Levim, this is the machlekes of Korach vaadaso. The machlekes Korach vaadaso of the Ramban was never a machlekes on what? On the kahuna Aaron should be oived b'teras hakohen. Because they understood that was something that was given temporarily to the Bechoros, and lechatchila, which was given to them, was not huchlafu. What had an expiration date when Machlekes Rebbe Rab Shimon bar Kochba, we learned the Mishnah in Zvachim, ad shehukam hamishkan, mishehukam hamishkan, Aaron and Bonav taking over the avodas kehuna, that was given to them lechatchila. And therefore, let's go back before we go back to the Ramban, the kasha that was asked. Why did the Kadosh Baruch Hu mitzaveh on the parsha big dekun to Aaron Ubanov if Aaron Ubanov, the whole parsha according to the Ramban, was given beforehand the word chayte be'egel? The teretz is poshut, because, and this is kloraya to this shtickle teretz from the Chazon Ish. The fact that you see the parsha's truma tetzaveh that was it's sivui on the mishkan and kelev, not only on the mishkan and kelev, but the big dekuna that the kohanim have to serve and bigdei aleim and kunosom aleim was given even before the chayte egel. And the reason for that being is because the job of the kohanim, the job of the b'chayros, b'teiras kohanim to be makim the korbanos, was given the chatchila only adaita the ocher that they should stop working once the zukam hamishkan is given to kohanim. And therefore, in Parshas Truma Tetzaveh, which happened 40 days before the Chet HaEgel, before they lost it, already HaKadosh Baruch Hu established and gives it tzivui, kaches Aaron and Bonav, the big kahuna, the kavel tiferes. And if they're not going to wear this big kahuna, they have a din of zoros because they big dem it's not a kasha anymore. But what did they lose by the egel? By serving as in front of the egel, the b'chayros HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you know what? I gave you a permanent job, not a temporary job. And that permanent job is avodas halavim, l'shir, l'maseh, all the dinim of Mishorer, or Shmiras Hamikdash, and Masa Mishkan, Kol Zman, the Mishkan was traveling, the avodah was Be'Levim. Besides, you can see us all, which is Machlekes Rambam and Ramban Sefer HaMitzvahs, the Sugi B'fnei Hatzon, we spoke about it once. But L'maiseh, the Levim have a job of Shmiras Hamikdash, of Mishorer, of Mishoyer, somebody who's sitting by the Shar, and of Masa Mishkan, of carrying over the Kelim throughout the Machanes, the 42 transitions from the Midbar all the way to Mishkan Shiloi, and that job was given to the Levim. That they lost by the Egel. Mele zogen the Am, Atem amisim esam Hashem, v'lo yirtzu b'chilofim. I believe we don't have any problem with you serving, you Aaron Ubanov are serving b'teiras kohanim because your job was given to you, and right now you are the one who is accepting. And they saw already Aaron Ubanov. They saw that. By the way, the whole story of Korach v'kol adosei, just to give you a practical purpose, most days in Chazal, this story is taking place right after the Chet HaMeraglim. In other words, when the Raglim leave on Choftes Sivan of Shana Shniyo, right after, again, Miriam, the story of Miriam Bachatzeres was in Chof Beis Sivan, finishing Choftes. At that day at Choftes Sivan, the Meraglim Mishtalech, and they come back in Ches of in the afternoon, and Tisha B'Av B'chiyah L'Doros. The morning after Tisha B'Av Yud B'Av is the story of Machlekes Korach vaadaso, Alei Shteit, in Braisa the Seder Olam Rabbo, and in Chazal in Etlach HaElter, that this story is taking place after. So they say like this: the fact that Aaron is serving as a Kohen, we have no problem. We see HaKadosh Baruch Hu is accepting korbanos, and the Eish is Yotzim HaShamayim and taking his korbanos. But the Bechira of Avodas of Mishmeres HaLevim was really given as a permanent job to the Levim. And even after the Mishkan was the Din of the Levim, the Chatchila was Oile B'machshover to give it to the Bechoros, the Avodas HaLevim, L'shir L'masa L'Oilem Void. Says the Ramban, I'm telling you, Pshat the Ramban is Lamita Shel Teireh. Ve'oyu chafetzim shiyu b'choires mishorse hamishkan mimkoim haLevim. Al Kapanim, they wanted that this din shius of the Levim for shira and shmira matzah or masa lo yirtzu bechilufim shirasem ki oyu chafetzim shiyu lekol hashvotim chelek be'avodas Hashem. They wanted the taina levaya swapping the Levim, the b'choires by the Levim. If the b'choires were to continue, so that everybody would have a part of Beis Hamikdash. Aaron and Abana would be kohanim, and they would serve the avodas hakorbanos, and the b'choires would have done the avodas haLevim. So Shevet Naftali, Shevet Dan, and Shevet Reuven, everyone would have a chelek in avodas Beis Hamikdash. Shiyu kol hashvotim chelek be'avodas Beis Hashem. V'hine yisloinenu. This is the punchline of the Ramban. V'hine yisloinenu. Atem hamisem esam Hashem. שנסעתם העצה הזה שיקריבו קטוירס ככהנים, והם היו ראויים לעבודת לווים, לא ישיו ככהנים מקטיר קטוירס. In other words, since the time it wasn't that they were prekeya to serve as kohanim. No, that's fine, that's okay. But that they were nischalef al yedei levim, they said, you went and you gave him a job for the test of Korach vaadaso. You gave him just to maktik teres. Maktik teres akovas hakorbanos. Akovas hakorbanos is avodas hakohanim, not avodas haLevim. The reason why they were punished is because you gave him avodas hakohanim, which was never theirs, as of Hukam Mishkan. This we talk about after Hukam Mishkan. We talk about a couple months after Hukam Mishkan. And you giving them a job of kohanim, Atem Hamitem esam Hashem, you caused the death. We wanted, a never machlekes was never ever. And the avodas hakohanim, says the Ramban's Pshat. Atem Hamitem esam Hashem, but the b'choires is the haktir k'toires, and you were the one who caused the Hamitem esam Hashem, says the Ramban, and that's v'zeh tam porach mate Aaron lebeis Levi, that you see that Aaron is lebeis Levi, you see that they were the one who were chosen, and therefore the taina of Bnei Yisrael is not a taina. That's how they were makrish this machlekes of Korach vaadaso.